If I want to make a contour drawing of my hand, I'm going to put my hand in the middle of the paper and trace around it with my pencil, making sure my pencil is straight up and down. That keeps me from getting fat fingers or skinny fingers. If there are any mistakes, you can easily just lift up your hand, erase, and kind of do that part again. Now, to do my cross contour lines, I'm doing just a straight line all the way across in the back. Wherever I touch a finger, I'm skipping that part, and I'll come back to that later. So I'm drawing a straight line, jump, 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 all the way across my background. Making sure when I'm holding that ruler, I'm holding it with both my thumb and my other fingers so that it doesn't wiggle. So I'm holding it in the middle as well. That keeps from having a wiggly ruler, making sure you've really got your whole hand kind of holding it steady. Now that I've finished with the straight horizontal lines in the background, I get to connect the lines over the fingers with bumps, called my cross contour lines. These little arches are just connecting one straight line to another. I go over each little bump, boop, boop, and connect that straight line, jumping over the finger. And this makes it look like an optical illusion. Now watch those knuckles. Sometimes for those long bumps it can get kind of tricky. If you ever need help on that, just let me know. I just kind of do a wavy line sometimes. And then these long bumps, I really want to make sure I'm making them extra bumpy and not super flat. Otherwise it's going to ruin the optical illusion. So once you have finished doing all the lines on this and all the bumps and doing those weird knuckles, it's time to kind of go over your lines with a marker. Now you can really carefully go over your lines with a marker. Oofed already. Markers are so much fun. If you want to use your rulers again, you can do that. I'm going to be doing every other color, and you know what? I'm going to actually start with my orange. The reason I'm stopping and switching to my orange first, if I'm going to be doing two colors, is that it's always best to start with your lighter color. Bump. That way, if I mess up and accidentally do an orange 2 times in a row, I can just cover it up with the purple. What I cannot do is cover up purple with orange. That will never work because orange is too light. So I'm going to start with that lighter color. If you want to just pick one color, that's fine. I just like to do patterns because I get kind of bored with the same color. If you want to do 3, if you want to do rainbow, it's kind of your call how you want to add color to this piece. Color is also a good way to see if you actually started and stopped at each straight line. Sometimes people kind of get their lines a little bit mixed up, so sometimes you have to play with your color patterns if you didn't quite get them to be matched up with the pencil lines. It's good to always have that teacher check before you add markers if you are not sure if it worked right in the middle area. I know I was struggling with that on mine. Now that I'm happy with my orange, I get to go back in with my purple. It's all showing you down here. If you want to, you can take that ruler back in. The hard part is going to be lining up sometimes because markers are so thick. Actually, I see on this bottom here, I could do one more purple line, but I definitely want to do is one more bumpy line. There's a lot of empty space down there. That way my hand looks like it's going on forever and ever. Or my arm does. Alright, now once you have this, you can kind of choose whether you want to use crayons or colored pencils and fill in. You can leave it white if you want to. You could even take an eraser and erase your hand lines, your contour lines. Or you could take your pencil or color pencil and kind of make it lighter or darker. I'll start by showing you how it looks when it's erased, and then I'll kind of show you if you want to emphasize that contour line, the opposite thing you can do. So there's many different options. This kind of makes it look more ghostly. I'm going to also just erase any stray pencil lines that maybe I didn't quite cover with my markers. So I found, I always like to find two color pencils of stuff. I will say these purples are not the same. I found this one first and I thought, ooh, that's really pretty. Then I noticed it wasn't the same as this one and it's so short. I will recommend to you to not start with a short, unique colored color pencil because it's very hard to find the exact same one or you might run out. So I'm going to put that one to the side, not use that one. Instead, use this longer one. Noticing what it says, it's Violet Crayola. Maybe I want to even write that on the back. Especially if I am almost done with class. And then these are Crayola Orange. That way I can try to find the exact same one. This one was Basic Violet, so different shade if it's a different brand. And with these, I'm just going to do some filling in of my lines. I don't have to fill in every lines. I could fill in every other. You can kind of play with what you want to do. I know that I do want to fill in this one because I messed up a little bit on that one. So you can see I decided to use a 2 purple, 2 orange pattern to kind of switch it up instead of just doing every other. I could have done all my orange first and then done all my purple, or I can switch it like I'm doing where I'm just switching colors every time. It's kind of a little bit longer to switch colors every time, but just kind of showing you different ways of doing it. And with my color pencils, I'm pressing really lightly, partially because I really don't like sharpening these all the time, but also because now if you want to, you can leave it like this where I erased my contour, or if you want to, I can go back in where my contour was and add a little bit of dark, like a little shadow. So I can draw that line where it was with my pencil line, draw it back in, because you can see it still. And then on one side, I'm just going to make it get a little bit darker. It's like a shadow coming off. And that can be also a cool way of finishing it off. When I'm doing this, I'm just slowly pressing lighter and lighter as I get farther away. And this would be maybe something you'd do if you feel like it's hard to see your hand too. Would be another option. Be like, man, it's really hard. Maybe I got hidden with all this color. This could help pop it out again. Or you don't have to do this at all, and you could be done without doing this extra colored pencil, adding what we call value. We've got some light, and I'm adding a little bit more dark to make it look more 3D, because that's what value does. It helps things look 3D. Nowhere where my finger is popping up am I adding any extra value. I'm going to leave that be the lightest value so that it looks like it's sticking up. Ooh, see, I'm doing a little bit too sharp of lines there. It's getting a little accentuated more than I want it to be. I like that. My op art hand turned out to be pretty cool.